Hi again, it's Aromantic Awareness Week, Aromantic Spectrum Awareness Week. So I'm once again making a video, finally. So I have a little bit of a different setup this time because my phone and YouTube don't like each other anymore. So I'm using a tablet, family member's tablet, so hopefully this works. So the last time I made a video, this is my current arrow ring. It's not the best, but I can't find anything better, and I don't actually wear this so much because I can't wear rings at work. So anyway, Aromantic Awareness Week. Last time I made a video. I compared asexual romance to allosexual romance, for lack of a better term, and I said that I might make a video about QPRs, aka queer platonic relationships or quasi-platonic relationships. And at the time I made that comment, I was thinking of two books for sure. That third one was a maybe, but I'm glad to announce I have a fourth book that I can talk about. Oh well, actually one of them is a duology. But so, let's get started. I'm going to first talk about the books I'm going to talk about. The Manifold Worlds by Buzz Meadows, duology. Negative by Claudie Arsenault. Sorry for the pronunciation. That's Your Backup by C.P. Lee from the Sidekick Squad. And Claire Khan's If It Makes You Happy. So, let's start with An Accident of Stars, the first book in the Manifold Worlds series. One of the point of view characters in this book, I think it says the second most important, is Gwen Veer, Vere. That's how you spell it in Finnish Sign Language. I hope that is how you say it. So she's black, she's aromantic, and allosexual. And I think it's either 40 something or 50 something. I'm gonna read passages this time, actually. So it's made very clear early on, like in page 42, when it says, Gwen had never felt romantic love. Nonetheless, the fact that her marriage mates extended their romance to Gwen while accepting her feelings never ceased to be warming. And then later, her aromanticism by no means precluded her enjoyment of sex on those occasions when the opportunity of having some presented itself. So as you can hear from that, she's clearly established as aromantic. She uses the word at least twice. And she also talks about experiencing sexual attraction. And she's married. The reason why this was a maybe is because like her relationship is marriage. It's a plural marriage because that's how things are in Kena, this world that she's found herself in, although she's from Earth. And so those are all, I don't know, it's common or standard to have a plural marriage, but she's in a marriage with two other people who were in a romance before they met her. And then they met her and I don't know, did they fall in love with her or what? But because Gwen is not in love with them, she loves them, and they have a child, at least one biological child from that union, Gwen's child. And so, unfortunately, I don't remember the names of her marriage mates, and we never got to meet them, which is a shame. And that's why I mostly would put this in a maybe pile as far as QPR representation is concerned, because like I'm not saying that a QPR cannot end in marriage, especially in places where marriage gives you some kind of specific legal benefits or tax benefits that are useful, friends with benefits tax benefits kind of thing. Uh, but yeah, and I would say that Gwen's aromanticism and allosexuality, it comes up occasionally, but it's not particularly a big part of the first book. And like I said, we never get to see how her marriage works with her not being in love with. We never meet those, so it's not very. If you're looking for a non-standard relationship structure stuff, then this book doesn't really give you that. Even though there's the fact that their marriages are at least always seems to, or plural marriages are either common or standard. It was kind of a confusing thing. But no, basically, no one seems to be married just to one person. So polyamory is very common here. Another thing I want to say about those two books is that Beyond Gwen, this first book, one of the main relationships is between two girls, and it's a not romance, it's a platonic friendship relationship that I really liked. But instead of continuing that for spoiler reasons, this second book actually, like, Gwen isn't actually much here. She's much more, she's downgraded a lot. There's basically nothing new about her sexual attraction or aromanticism or how those work together. She's there more as a mother to her son, to the son that I mentioned, because he is plot relevant, and basically she's there mostly there to just get exposition dumped on, info dumped on about a specific thing about the mythology of this world. And then there's the fact that this book, instead of having a friendship at this gender, actually expects me to be a lot more invested in this romance warning I was meant to make. So this is more interesting. This book is very interested in reuniting supposedly a romantic couple that barely interacted in the first book, and just because it's between a cis bi white girl and darker skinned sapphic trans girl, doesn't really make it. It doesn't really make it better that the romance wasn't really established in the first book, and now I'm supposed to care that they have been separated for like 10 days. And like, I get the representational aspect of giving queer girls the experience of having oh, we are almost gonna die, let's make out thing. But as an arrow, it's kind of annoying. It didn't really work for me. So overall, I was interested in the world building and some of the relationships to an extent, but Gwen isn't enough in the second book, and it goes from mostly friendship to overemphasis on romance. I guess that's it about that. Next, The Baker Thief. Now this is about Adele, who's a actual good cop, ethical cop, whatever, and Claude, who owns a bakery, and Claire, who goes around at night stealing exocores, which is some kind of not cheap, but it's kind of good energy source. Quickly, it turns out Claire and Claude are the same person, the Baker Thief. Adele doesn't know that. She's kind of goes to Claude's bakery. Clarify, Claude is bigender, aromantic, allosexual, and uses both he and she pronouns depending how he or she is presenting. And Adele is demisexual. And they are not the only A spectrum characters in this book, which is what I liked the most about this book. This world is very aspect friendly, and that's what was one of my favorite things about it. So basically, this book is kind of like a combo coffee shop thingy and enemies to lovers situation.